Like every MMORPG, Corepunk provides you with opportunities to perform different roles across various types of content. Whether you like to tank, heal, deal damage, or perform a hybrid role, the game supports you through its stat system. Yet, it can be challenging to understand how specific stats work, how they are calculated, and which stats to pursue for your chosen role. Today, I'll provide details about stats, their variety, ways to obtain them, and their unique characteristics. Your likes and comments help me understand that these videos are useful and allow you to share ideas about future video topics, helping me create content you want to see. Thank you for watching, liking and commenting. I truly appreciate your support. Let's start with the type of stats. The game features two types, main stats and secondary stats. Main stats include armor, health amount, mana amount, spell power, and so on. There aren't many of them, you can see the full list on the screen. Secondary stats include crit chance, crit damage, armor reduction, mana and health regeneration, cooldown reduction, and more. Compared to main stats, there are quite a few secondary stats in the game. I've displayed some of the most popular ones, though I don't have enough screen space to list them all. Now that I've covered the type of stats, let's look at how to obtain them. Implants are the primary source of stats in the game. They feature both main and secondary stats. Every implant, regardless of its tier or quality, provides at least one main stat type. As implants increase in tier, they provide more main stats, 2 for tier 2 and 3 for tier 3. Secondary stats became available when you obtain or craft higher quality implants. While implant tiers determine the number of main stat types, implant quality determines how many secondary stats you'll find in your implant. Common quality implants have no secondary stats, uncommon have 1, rare have 2, and epic have 3. Currently, the game doesn't have legendary items or any items with orange glowing effects, so by default, epic implants contain 3 secondary stats, though there is a way to increase this up to 5. If you would like to know this particular detail, Synthesis Machine video is on the channel. Weapons also provide certain stats. Almost every weapon comes with 3 basic stats: attack speed, weapon damage, and damage per second, calculated from these two. Some weapons can also include additional stats like physical or magic crit chance, armor, and magic penetration. I specified almost every weapon because shields, available to the Legionary class, has their own unique defensive stats. The third way to acquire stats is through passive talents. As you progress through the game, you'll receive 1 talent point per level to spend on different passive talent trees. Some trees provide crit chance, others offer mana percentage bonuses, and some increase healing percentage. Within these trees, you can also find various situational stat bonuses. The choice is yours, whether to become tankier, boost your crit chance, or enhance your healing abilities. The fourth way to get stats is pretty passive. You don't need to search for something or spend time learning complex game mechanics. Some stats are simply built into your skills. For example, the Legionary's passive ability provides armor and magic resistance for each basic attack. Similarly, one of the champion's skill increases both health and attack power. The weapon mastery system can also provide stat bonuses. For instance, when improved through the weapon mastery tree, the same champion skill can grant additional attack power and health. Now that I've reviewed the stat basics, let's explore their peculiarities. Since implants are the primary source of stats, we'll focus on them. The first notable feature concerns how stat amounts increase with implant tiers. As mentioned earlier, tier 1 implants provide one type of stat, while tier 2 implants provide 2 types of main stats. Yet, not only does the quantity of stats increase from 1 to 2, but the stat amounts themselves also increase. For example, the health cap in tier 1 implants is 200, while tier 2 implants can reach 400. This pattern continues when upgrading from tier 2 to tier 3 implants. As the quantity of main stats increases from 2 to 3, the stat amounts increase proportionally. That's what I wanted to mention just a few days ago. On January 10, a significant update was released that included changes to implants. Previously, tier 3 items had higher base stats than tier 2. Some stats were doubled, others slightly less, and the power difference between these tiers was significant. After the update, Tier 2 and Tier 3 stat caps became equal. The only difference between them now is that Tier 3 implants have 3 types of main stats, while Tier 2 have 2 types. We won't go into the details here. If you'd like to hear the developer's perspective and my thoughts on this, I recently made a video covering the update. The same logic applies to secondary stats. For example, if a Tier 1 implant provides 10 to 20 critical hit chance points, a Tier 2 implant can provide up to 40, and after the update, Tier 3 can provide the same amount. The second peculiarity is that the stat power falls within a certain range. Using magic resist as an example, in Tier 1 implants, the stat power can range from 10 to 30. In Tier 2 implants, magic resist ranges from 30 to 50. The same pattern applies to Tier 3 implants. Whether you craft an implant or receive it as a loot drop, its power will always be randomly assigned within a specific range for its tier. By the way, you can use the synthesis machine to roll the power for a chance to get a value closer to the range cap. The same mechanic applies to weapons. Attack speed, attack damage and critical hit chance can all vary within weapon tiers and their respective power ranges. Let's explore how stats improve your hero. Some stats are straightforward to understand. Attack power directly determines the damage you deal to enemies per attack. Armor works a bit differently. It converts into a percentage that reduces incoming damage. Many stats are directly linked to the damage or hidden output of your skills. For example, the Shaman's Fire Totem deals a fixed 24 damage plus 30% of your current spell power. With my hero's spell power at 229, that 30% equals 68.7. Adding the fixed 24 damage results in 92.7 total damage, which matches the skill description exactly. Some stats are more complex and difficult to calculate, especially when determining how many points you need to achieve a certain percentage. Take crit chance for example, which affects both damage and hidden output. The primary method of increasing your crit chance comes from implants of uncommon, rare or epic quality, since crit chance is classified as a secondary stat. The tricky part is that only weapons and passive talents show crit chance as a percentage. Implants instead provide points that convert into a percentage. So how exactly does this conversion work? Let's take an example. When I receive 40 magic crit chance points from implants, they convert to 5.1% magic crit chance. You might think, if 40 equals 5.1%, then 80 should equals 10.2%. But here is the problem. While I don't have implants showing 80 points, I do have one showing 79 points. According to linear calculations, this should equal about 10.1% or 10.2%, but in reality it equals 9.5% crit chance. This means that as our total points increase, each additional point contributes a smaller percentage to the overall crit chance. Another tricky aspect is that you might assume, if 40 points of magic crit chance convert to 5.1% magic crit chance, then 40 points of physical crit chance should convert to 5.1% physical crit chance. However, it works differently. While I don't have exactly 40 points to demonstrate, I do have 37 points as an example. These 37 physical crit chance points convert to 5.4% physical crit chance. This means physical crit provides a higher percentage with fewer points compared to magic crit chance. The same principle applies to tenacity, where 38 points provide 8.7%. What we learn regarding stat calculations is that main stats are straightforward to calculate and easy to understand when determining how much you need for a specific role. However, secondary stats work quite differently. Each stat type has its own correlation between points and percentage conversion. Additionally, secondary stats become less effective as you accumulate more points. In short, secondary stats require more efforts to optimize. You'll need to experiment with various implant combinations to achieve your desired results. While this system adds complexity, it seems like developer refinement will benefit the system to improve the overall play experience. Another peculiarity of secondary stats is that you can receive or roll identical types of secondary stats within a single implant. For example, if you have an overclocked rare implant with 4 secondary stat slots, all 4 slots can potentially provide the same type of stat. While we currently have 2 identical magic chance points, theoretically, if we continue rerolling, we could get all 4 slots showing magic chance. Though the probability of getting all identical stats is extremely low, it's possible. I think that's mostly everything I wanted to tell you about how stats work in Corepunk. While it would be nice to summarize everything, doing so might overcomplicate things by mixing all the concepts together. It's important to know that I'm making this video during the early access stage, when balance changes are frequent. So depending on when you're watching this video, don't be scared if you notice some difference between my explanation and the current game. What matters most is that you understand how stats work in Corepunk. This fundamental knowledge will remain valuable regardless of balance changes. If anything remains unclear, feel free to rewatch specific parts of the video. The comment section is open, and you are always welcome to ask questions or seek clarification. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.